There's a bus stop pretty close to my job. I could give it a try.
Awesome. More conditioner?
Thanks a lot.
He learned his lesson. Join us and take the challenge to ride green.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
In Moorhead, talk to State Farm agent Dave Eggers.
Update or download to the all-new MSUM Dragons app on iTunes and Google Play. The new app features customized following of only your favorite Dragons teams, incredible in-app live stats and media coverage, and our fired-up rewards program all in one easy-to-use app. Update your Dragons app, search MSUM in your app store, or visit msumdragons.com/app to download the new MSUM Dragons app today.
It's a new stay at the Courtyard by Marriott, located just minutes from downtown Fargo, local colleges, shopping centers, and several restaurants. The Courtyard features a 24-hour fitness center, 24-hour on-site Starbucks, and our bistro restaurant and lounge open for breakfast and dinner daily. Relax in one of our 2 indoor swimming pools and hot tub. The comfort your family needs close to all the action at the Courtyard by Marriott. Visit our website or call 218-284-1000. That's 218-284-1000.
Jacks just rushed forward. They're going to get home.
Going for Wanzik in the end zone. What a catch!
To the air on 3rd and goal. Tight end Brett Sampson.
And they're going to look for Enoch. Enoch touchdown. 2-point conversion is good, and Brandon Valley takes the 1-point lead to win the game.
And Pierre Strong is going to carry it all the way in for a Jackrabbit touchdown.
Exceeding expectations. Getting better every day. It doesn't happen by chance. Preparation pays off. So the only question to ask yourself is, am I better today than I was yesterday? Exceed yesterday. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Prosperity is today's investment in tomorrow's promise. The promise of a better way of life. With every act of kindness, every act of creation, and with every act of love, we strengthen our community. And when we stand together as a community, we accomplish the impossible. We can choose to pass through life, or we can choose to pass on a better way of life.
Dragon Swim School is proud to offer year-round swimming and diving lessons with the lowest student-to-instructor ratio around. Lessons are available for all levels, including parent-child sessions and preschool. Help your child learn to love the water in a safe and caring environment with us at Dragon Swim School. Visit msumdragons.com/swim for more information. That's msumdragons.com/swim.
Before I became a real boy, life was easy. I didn't have to do anything. I just sat there doing sandwich stuff. But man, being alive is so hard. So if you don't want to get up out of bed to get a sandwich, you shouldn't have to. The sheer effort it takes just for basic life functions like breathing has earned you the right to have someone bring that sandwich to you. Your struggle is not lost on us. Have a sandwich, you hero.
Dragons volleyball, but in the meantime, as we transition outside to inside for volleyball, I'm joined here by David Hession, who is Dragon Ambassador, Go Team member, and you've been a part of this program and everything we do around here in Dragon Athletics on the promotion side for a very long time. But let's start first with your role as a Dragon Ambassador, as I know you talk about athletics a ton in your Go Team pieces. You had a preview day yesterday and partially today. Tell us a little bit about what it's like to be a Dragon Ambassador and what a preview day is like.
Well, it's wonderful being a Dragon Ambassador. It's awesome just to be able to represent the university and introduce it to new students and kind of show them what it's like to be a Dragon. And so preview days are awesome. We have them Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the fall, and it's just a wonderful opportunity to introduce it to them. I get to be on the panel, and so do all of our ambassadors at some point, and they get to talk to students. So while they're getting the usual admissions presentation, they're also asking us questions, things that they want to know that are pertinent to them. I always throw in things about the GO team and opportunities I've had on campus, and so to be able to represent the university here in athletics and also as a Dragon Ambassador, it's really cool just to be able to combine both worlds.
And your world as a Dragon Ambassador is also helping us recruit a little bit. You talk to those students as they first come to campus, and we had a record freshman class. I think I can credit this guy for talking in those moments. But what happens when you become a GO teamer? What's that experience been like for you? And what are some things you're working on now?
Well, for me, it's been honestly life-changing just to be here, come in, and get all these awesome experiences. I started out just by taking a class with you, actually, and we had to work a few different events, and I got hooked on it. And I knew from the get-go I wanted to work in sports, but just having the opportunity to really get hands-on experience, I switched my major to something that was more pertinent to what I wanted to do, and it's just been growing ever since. So right now we're working on a few events. One that I worked on 2 years ago was the Battle for Moorhead versus the Cobbers and the Dragons.
Yeah.
And introducing a police versus fire game in that as well. So being able to have that opportunity and to work on it again, get the community engaged and involved with athletics, it's been a cool opportunity for me.
Yeah, and we're going to do that again. So what not a lot of people know is you have kind of the full autonomy with that game. 2 years ago it was Concordia versus MSUM, and so we did a Moorhead versus Moorhead night. And we invited our PD and FD to come be a part of a halftime kind of Globetrotters fun game. They had custom shirts with their badge numbers on them. It was a fun event, and now we alternate that every other year. Last year was at Concordia. This year, on campus at MSUM. What's planning that event like, and what's it like for you, and how rewarding it is to plan something like that that gets the entire community here involved?
It's really fun for me. It's great to be able to talk with our first responders, the fire department, the police department. Having my dad be a police officer, it's kind of a nice personal connection for me as well. And so being able to
Shout
get
out,
them involved
Dad. What's
and excited.
up?
Hey, Dad. Hey, Mom. You guys are probably watching. But it's been great just to be able to engage with them, to see the community come together. Those Moorhead and Concordia games are super fun because you're seeing everyone. You're seeing the red, you're seeing the maroon, and it's really a great celebration of our communities and our campuses that we have here.
And we have a lot of things going on today. We had swimming and diving earlier this morning. We had a multi-duel. I think they took one and lost two. We had Dragon football, which our viewers just got done watching. And now we're teeing up here for Dragons volleyball. What's it like for you also as a student to sit here and be involved and be a part of the team around the teams and being able to they put on a fantastic show and a fantastic product on the courts, on the fields, and the pools, whoever playing surface has had. And our job is kind of that show behind the scenes with our broadcast team, our Dragons Live, which you're watching now, with our in-game team who's doing the all the wonderful things of engaging with fans, the rewards app. We've got Courtney on the table. We've got Beck doing social. There's a lot of shout-outs to be made when it comes to the GO team, so it's fantastic to see everybody come together. But what's it like to see the fans engage with the GO team in that show behind the show?
It's great. There's a lot of things on the GO team. It's very multifaceted, and so to be able to be in that team environment is great, and then to have a different connection with the fans. Growing up playing sports, you know, you have that involvement with them, but then it's different where you get to directly talk with them and speak with them and get them to come out and do your games and promotions. I know it's also fun to see the social media piece as well.
Right.
That's awesome to see all the engagement we get and where they're all coming from. So it's just an amazing experience being able to engage with fans in that totally different way and still being able to be a part of a team and to see all these wonderful student athletes grow in their experience here in their 4 years or however many they may have. It's just been an amazing experience here.
Well, thank you for all you do, and thank you guys for still watching. We're going to get set for Dragons volleyball. We'll have Steve coming up here for coverage of Dragons volleyball versus Winona State here in just a little bit.
First thing I do every morning when I get up is look out the window and see what the sky is doing. The neighbors kind of all know I'm into this, so I'll get calls or texts saying, oh, there's 2 eagles in the trees over here. I have a lot of relatives who live in other parts of the state, and they see them on TV, and it always kind of makes them feel like they're connected. keep an eye on the sky and be ready. You never know what might show up.
Just looking back on myself freshman year to who I am currently, it's a complete transformation.
You walk around campus all the time, you see friendly faces, you see smiling faces, and people really, really love being here.
For me personally, I was able to get the experience and the knowledge that I needed to be successful.
I've had a pretty long journey to get here. Went to community college, changed majors, and MSUM has transformed my life just incredibly.
Hello, welcome to Spicy Pie. Can I take your order?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have, Pizza Grinders beer. Pizza Grinders beer. What other reason would I be here if not for Pizza Grinders beer? I need those grinders for my appetite. That beer top with that frothy white. Ribbon for flavor, that's when you order everything on the menu. That's Pizza Grinders beer. Pizza Grinders beer.
We have tacos too.
Oh, okay. Then I'll have Pizza Grinders tacos beer. Pizza Grinders tacos beer. I can't wait to make it disappear. My Pizza Grinders tacos beer. Pizza mystery, the wizardry of spicy pie. Synergy has the best pizza in history, and they do delivery. I need that spicy pie, the only thing that can satisfy. With such great prices, that's when you order everything on the menu.
Would you like dessert with that?
Y'all have dessert too? Pizza Grinders beer, dessert nuts, peanut butter bars, Zapolas? What's Zapola? Okay, y'all got Mexican too? Okay.
It takes a team to bring the story home every day. It takes a leader to build a legacy of trust.
As the only locally owned news station in the region, we're there for you at every turn.
We're your neighbors, telling the stories that matter because your community is our community.
So when you need to reconnect, remember that we're working every day, just like you.
Trying to make a better tomorrow.
WDAY News, the only locally owned news station in the region.
Heading to Fargo-Moorhead to get away and have a little fun? Book your room at the highly rated Microtel Inn and Suites. It's conveniently located just off 8th Street and I-94. Clean rooms and all the amenities you need to relax and recharge after a fun day out. Plus, when you wake up, you can enjoy a free hot breakfast. What are you waiting for? Book your room today at the Microtel Inn and Suites in Moorhead. Call 218-284-4022 or visit microtelmoorhead.com.
Get fired up for the new shop MSUMDragons.com, the official online store of Dragon Athletics, featuring top brands like Under Armour, Adidas, Columbia, and more. Get gear in women's, youth, toddler, and infant sizes, perfect for all of our Dragon fans. Support your favorite Dragon team with Select a logo. Anything custom ships in 72 hours. And take your tailgating to the next level with items like bleacher chairs, tailgate tents, and lawn chairs. Get the gear and support your team with profits going directly to Dragon Athletics from shop MSUMDragons.com.
Another day. And just like every day, it never seems to slow down. But you have a plan. Grab a cup, grab the paper, and grab a little time. Just for you. It's worth it. Don't get the paper? Just grab the phone. Call now and save up to 60% off the newsstand price. Journalists, bringing the story home every day.
It's a new stay at the Courtyard by Marriott, located just minutes from downtown Fargo, local colleges, shopping centers, and several restaurants. The Courtyard features a 24-hour fitness center, 24-hour on-site Starbucks, and our bistro restaurant and lounge open for breakfast and dinner daily. Relax in one of our 2 indoor swimming pools and hot tub. The comfort your family needs close to all the action at the Courtyard by Marriott. Visit our website or call 218-284-1000. That's 218-284-1000.
Your man cave is a lie. It's not a masculine refuge, it's a basement in your wife's house. Caves don't have frilly craft store signs. Yell about it. In your man cave, no one can hear you scream. Wake up! Head upstairs and get to B-dubs, where the kegerators are just called taps, the wall color is TVs, and the wings taste like freedom. Also, your friends actually like coming here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
Affinity Plus definitely seems like a credit union that cares about people. I've always had a good time whenever I go into my branch. I feel like I laugh every time. Like if they came into a bar, right, then they would be like the friend that you want to introduce to everybody. I talk about this credit union all the time because I think it's just like a gift to the world, because with my experience in the past, this has been just indescribable.
My life story.
Minnesota State University Moorhead, WDAY Extra. Dragon Athletics and Go Team Productions presents Minnesota State University Moorhead Dragons Volleyball. Today it's the number 20th ranked Winona State Warriors against the Dragons. We just saw the Dragon football team fall in the short end of a 48-3 score. Now we'll see if this Dragon volleyball team can salvage a victory this season after losing last night to Upper Iowa. And good Saturday afternoon to you and welcome inside Alex Nemzik Hall in Moorhead. My name is Steve DeStatio. As always, it's my privilege to be with you alongside Becky Berth, who is a pitcher on the Dragons softball team, and today she's going to provide some volleyball color commentary. You were here last night and saw the Dragons. What did you notice against Upper Iowa?
Well, I did see some great serving coming out of Amber Bradwich and a few other people on the team. They stole a match from them, which was awesome. Really great to see. They've been picking up some momentum in October, which is great. They're out 3-3 in October, and let's see if they can keep that momentum going. Yeah,
the Dragons won their first 5 of 8 matches this season. Then they hit the NSIC, and every time we're here for volleyball matches on TV, we document what this league is. It's just a bunch of landmines. This is one of those landmines in Winona State. The Warriors come into today losers last night at Northern State. What do you expect from them today?
I say they're going to come back with some fire, but I think the Dragons will do that too.
All right, the Dragons and Winona State trying to come in and get a victory today. Let's look at our player comparison. Megan Flom among the NSIC leaders in hitting percentage and kills. Amanda Carlson, what does she bring to the table for the Dragons?
Just a great outside hitter, able to move the ball around the court, great court sense, uses a roll, tip, and a nice swing.
Our player comparison presented by Matt Boss. Let's take one more break. When we come back, we'll have our first serve. You're watching live coverage of MSU Moorhead Dragons Volleyball, presented by Dragons Live on WDAY Extra.
Liddy here with another lesson.
Okay, gotta make a list. Pay cable bill, research car insurance rates, get groceries. And my student loan payment is due next week.
You look stressed. If you're worried about money, try riding Matt's bus.
There is a bus stop pretty close to my job. I could give it a try.
Awesome. More conditioner?
Thanks a lot.
He learned his lesson. Join us and take the challenge to ride green.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
In Moorhead, talk to State Farm agent Dave Eggers.
Update or download to the all-new MSUM Dragons app on iTunes and Google Play. The new app features customized following of only your favorite Dragons teams, incredible in-app live stats and media coverage, and our fired-up rewards program all in one easy-to-use app. Update your Dragons app, search MSUM in your app store, or visit msumdragons.com/app to download the new MSUM Dragons app today.
It's a new stay at the Courtyard by Marriott, located just minutes from downtown Fargo, local colleges, shopping centers, and several restaurants. The Courtyard features a 24-hour fitness center, 24-hour on-site Starbucks, and our bistro restaurant and lounge open for breakfast and dinner daily. Relax in one of our 2 indoor swimming pools and hot tub. The comfort your family needs close to all the action at the Courtyard by Marriott. Visit our website or call 218-284-1000. That's 218-284-1000.
Jacks just rushed 4 and they're going to get home.
Going for Wanzik in the end zone. What a catch!
To the air on 3rd and goal. Tight end Brett Sampson.
And they're going to look for Enoch. Enoch, touchdown! 2-point conversion is good, and Brandon Valley takes the 1-point lead to win the game.
And Pierre Strong is going to carry it all the way in for a Jackrabbit touchdown.
Exceeding expectations. Getting better every day. It doesn't happen by chance. Preparation pays off. So the only question to ask yourself is, am I better today than I was yesterday? Exceed yesterday. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Prosperity is today's investment in tomorrow's promise. The promise of a better way of life. With every act of kindness, every act of creation, and with every act of love, we strengthen our community. And when we stand together as a community, we accomplish the impossible. We can choose to pass through life, or we can choose to pass on a better way of life.
Dragon Swim School is proud to offer year-round swimming and diving lessons with the lowest student-to-instructor ratio around. Lessons are available for all levels, including parent-child sessions and preschool. Help your child learn to love the water in a safe and caring environment with us at Dragon Swim School. Visit msumdragons.com/swim for more information. That's msumdragons.com/swim.
Welcome back inside Alex Nemzik Hall. Steve DeStatio, Becky Burth, there are your NSIC standings up to this minute. Well, coming into today, sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings. This Winona State squad coming to today 6-4. Remember, only the top 8, Becky, as you know, make it to the NSIC tournament in volleyball. So even though they're nationally ranked, they're kind of playing for their playoff lives here.
Yes, they are. They need to continue a strong run in the NSIC, and hopefully their rankings will help them.
The Dragons come in 8-10. They gave a fight last night to Upper Iowa. They're 3-7. Probably no postseason for the Dragons this year. But like last night, Don kept talking about the second half of the football game. Compete. How does this volleyball team compete here this afternoon?
They just need to keep playing strong, playing their game, running to their strengths.
All right, let's take one more timeout. When we come back, we'll have your opening serve. You're watching live coverage of Dragons volleyball on WDAY Extra.
Before I became a real boy, life was easy. I didn't have to do anything. I just sat there doing sandwich stuff. But man, being alive is so hard. So if you don't want to get up out of bed to get a sandwich, you shouldn't have to. The sheer effort it takes just for basic life functions like breathing has earned you the right to have someone bring that sandwich to you. Your struggle is not lost on us. Have a sandwich, you hero.
First thing I do every morning when I get up is look out the window and see what the sky is doing. The neighbors kind of all know I'm into this, so I'll get calls or texts saying, oh, there's 2 eagles in the trees over here. I have a lot of relatives who live in other parts of the state, and they see them on TV, and it always kind of makes them feel like they're connected. Keep an eye on the sky and be ready. You never know what might show up.
Just looking back on myself freshman year to who I am currently, it's a complete transformation.
You walk around campus all the time, you see friendly faces, you see smiling faces, and people really, really love being here.
For me personally, I was able to get the experience and the knowledge that I needed to be successful.
I've had a pretty long journey to get here. Went to community college, changed majors, and MSUM has transformed my life just incredibly.
Heading to Fargo-Moorhead to get away and have a little fun? Book your room at the highly rated Microtel Inn & Suites. It's conveniently located just off 8th Street and I-94. Clean rooms and all the amenities you need to relax and recharge after a fun day out. Plus, when you wake up, you can enjoy a free hot breakfast. What are you waiting for? Book your room today at the Microtel Inn & Suites in Moorhead. Call 218-284-4022 or visit microtelmoorhead.com.
All right, there's a unique view of Alex Nemzik Fieldhouse. The Dragons are in their grays with red numbers, black shorts. Winona State in their whites and purple, trademark colors for Winona State. I imagine, just like Steve Lockway wanted in football, didn't get it, that the Dragons want to get off to a fast start.
Definitely. A good start's really going to set the tone for this match.
Again, the Dragons last night losing in 4 to number 19 Upper Iowa. They're down in Northern this afternoon. The Dragons will get this underway. Sarah Petterbach, the Addison, Illinois native, to lead things off. Brooke Walthall for the Dragons. We'll hear more about the Walthalls. I'm sure that name sounds familiar to those of you tuning in to volleyball maybe for the first time, but have watched Dragon basketball. Corey Myers, a sophomore out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Looked like Winona State went to her early. Becca Pagel serving. And now down the middle goes Megan Flom. Becky, you documented her in her matchup graphic that this Megan Flom, they like to go to her often.
They do, and she looks so versatile. She can do that quick set. She can do a run behind. It's just, she sees the court well.
Service winner there and a good start for Winona State, up 3-0. Becca Pagel out of Sumner, Iowa. She will turn 21 on January the 29th. The frescoes will be on her that night. Pagel into the net, and the Dragons get their first point. Brooke Walthall will come out, and in comes Elise Bakke out of North High School in Fargo. The Dragons on offense. Couldn't find a home, and there's Flom again.
That's that quick set I was talking about. She's killer with that.
It's just that quick free swing as we take a look on the replay presented by Midco. She gets every bit of that ball. And now the southpaw, Mosberg serving, and she'll serve again. It's 5-1 Winona State. They lost in 3 last night, and the Dragons fall behind. They lose 5 of their first 6 points. Back in 30 seconds, you're watching live coverage of Dragons volleyball on WDAY Extra.
Get fired up for the new Shop MSUMDragons.com, the official online store of Dragon Athletics, featuring top brands like Under Armour, Adidas, Columbia, and more. Get gear in women's, youth, toddler, and infant sizes, perfect for all of our Dragon fans. Support your favorite Dragon team with Select a logo. Anything custom ships in 72 hours. And take your tailgating to the next level with items like bleacher chairs, tailgate tents, and lawn chairs. Get the gear and support your team with profits going directly to Dragon Athletics from Shop MSUMDragons.com.
There's our Gate City Bank fan cam indoor style. Make every ATM a free ATM. With a Gate City Bank checking account, you can use any ATM for free with unlimited automatic fee refunds. Contact us at visit GateCityBank.com. Gate City Bank, for a better way of life, member FDIC. There's the basketball team you saw in red and black plaid on the far right. Megan Hintz, she won something called the NSIC Preseason Player of the Year, which I've really never figured out, but I think that means she's going to be pretty good. As Paige Christopher, just a sophomore, gets a whack. It is 6-1 Winona State.
Dragons really need a side out here. Let's see what they do with it.
Oh, they get one.
Tia Doppler with that little off speed to the back line. Perfect spot.
Solensky will come in. And she'll serve. The sophomore out of Bismarck Century. I had the privilege of webcasting a couple of her state championships out in Minot in the Fargo Dome. A couple great venues for volleyball. There's Flom again, dug out by Walthall. And now a block that goes out of bounds, and the Dragons look a little more comfortable.
Yes, they do.
There's that change of pace you were talking about. Running a mile to get that was Bree Maloney.
Dragons really need to use this free ball here.
Dumped over at the net by Flom. She just goes vertically so easily, number 8.
Yeah, she does. She uses that height, gets up there with that jump too.
My vertical leap personally is certainly nothing to brag about. I imagine when you go up and you've got to have such the touch to not touch the net as Walthall could not come up with that. It's 8-3 Winona State. We're in set number 1 here from Moorhead. The Dragons and Winona State. Corey Myers serving. And that went deep, and 2 of the Dragons' 4 points have been freebies.
This is where the Dragons really need to execute and use that free point right there.
Here's Amanda Carlson. You talked about her serving ability. She has Winona State backpedaling. Flom couldn't finish. Do they go back to her? No, they go to Paige Christopher. She couldn't put it away. There's Flom. Dug out by Walthall. The longest and certainly the most spirited point comes to an end with Winona State winning it. 9-4 Winona State as their libero. Becca Pagel has a seat on the bench. This is Flom. Petterbach with some mustard.
Cross court by Petterbach.
Is she the Flom of MSU Moorhead?
I would say yes. Between her and Amanda Carlson on that outside.
A hook shot corralled by Walthall. The Dragons try some touch. And now with some touch, Madison Reisner, a 5'10 sophomore from Richland Center, Wisconsin. She won something called the Triple Threat Award in the state of Wisconsin in volleyball, basketball, and track and field. You're from Wisconsin. Maybe you know what that means, but it just sounds like she's a good athlete.
I do. It is given to senior athletes who are triple threat, so they would play 3 sports, and they're standout in all 3.
I thought that's what I meant, but I'm glad I have a Wisconsinite. Is it Wisconsinite?
Yes.
Cheesehead, Wisconsinite?
It's interchangeable, I'd
Is
say.
Cheesehead a compliment to Wisconsin, folks from Wisconsin?
I don't know if it's a compliment. It's not a diss at any of us in any way.
Okay. 11-6, Dragons on top, and Amber Bretwish to serve, the exercise science major out of Woodbury, Minnesota.
She is definitely a server to watch. She has a 2-type serve. She has a top spin serve that'll go to the back row and a floater that'll go to the front.
Bree Maloney found it. And now a double hit. And it's 11-7. Winona State. Christopher finds it. And now going cross court.
Great slide hit on that. It's where the middle runs round back behind the center.
So it's 12-7, Winona State. Here midway through match or set number 1. This is Casey Volkman serving. On the far side, Doppler showing some strength.
Yeah, she is. That was great. Just down ball right to the middle. Kind of a dead zone.
So one thing that the Dragons have tried to exploit early is that dead zone, as you call it, just in between the 6 of them. No dead zone there, just a lot of power as Kate Mosberg from Kilkenny, Minnesota, teed off on that one. It's 13-8, Winona State. Here's Pagel again. She started things off for Winona State service-wise. What a dive by Pagel with her left arm, and now getting the ball over the net is Maloney. What can the Dragons do? Another push with touch, so you can see that aggression by Winona State trying to play up front, and Doppler right there. Her radar was up. That's 2 in a row for her.
Yes, it is. She's great court, seeing the floor well.
It's not how hard you hit it sometimes. And you also got to keep it in bounds as Flom is back in, and the Dragons have crept back in after falling behind. They're down 13-10 here in set number 1. Strong serve, and there's Flom looking for that dead zone in the Dragons. And now not being able to come up with the goods for the Dragons was Jenkins. And the southpaw Mosberg will serve again. Good driving serve to the back center. There's Flom. Yes. I don't think Flom got all of that. Might have run off her 4th or 5th knuckle, but she somehow found the chalk.
Sometimes that's all you need. Take off a little speed, catch somebody by surprise.
And hit a line while you're at it. Brooke Walthall diving to keep that ball alive over the net, and there's Flom. This, to me, just her alone, watching her last night in Aberdeen against Northern State, makes this Winona State squad pretty dangerous. They're up by 6 here in set number 1.
Another day. And just like every day, it never seems to slow down. But you have a plan. Grab a cup, grab the paper, and grab a little time. Just for you. It's worth it. Don't get the paper? Just grab the phone. Call now and save up to 60% off the newsstand price. Journalists, bringing the story home every day.
The official online store of the Dragons is shopmsumdragons.com with over 1,300 officially licensed items to show off your Dragon pride. Shopmsumdragons.com. Becky, this Winona State squad has beaten the Dragons in each of their past 7 matches. The last time the Dragons beat Winona State was here in Moorhead, probably while you were still in high school, on October 26th, 2013. Just a good program by a head coach in Joe Getson, who also coached a year as the head coach of Ole Miss.
That's impressive.
In the SEC. That is very impressive. He's out on the court now, as tonight he's searching for victory number 309 in his career. This Winona State squad missed the NSIC playoffs last year. They were beat in the first round 2 years ago in 5 sets by Minnesota Duluth. A smash cross court by Amber Carlson. She couldn't find wood. That ball's kicked over the net. Is that legal?
It is. It's called a foot dig.
Amber Bretwish almost came up with what I would have seen as my first ever foot dig.
It's a little hard to control, not very common, but it has become legal in the past few years.
Smash on the far side. Doppler again. She already has 3 kills here for the Dragons. Sarah Suits, Becky Sarah Suits, 5'9" junior, Robbinsdale, Minnesota, into the match.
Tia Doppler is working well over this block.
Petterbach with a blast. Pagel found it. That ball was measured by Myers. Flom again. Found Walthall. Brooke Walthall seems to be everywhere so far. Myers. sent that ball to the rafters and sent a couple Dragons heading towards the water cooler. 18-11. Winona State, it just with that threat of Flom in the middle, it's almost like in football, if you want to use a cross-sport comparison, it's kind of like a running and a passing game that's working all in one. Just with Flom's presence in the middle, I'm sure the Dragons are keyed in on her, but they've got all these other weapons. There's Flom again. Pagel again. Christopher. Wide right.
This is an opportune time for the Dragons to try to go on a little run here. Carlson has a great serve.
You mentioned her serve at the beginning, Carlson, out of Phoenix, Arizona. Had a team-high 274 kills last year. Here's Christopher, right to Brooke Walthall. Ooh, that was right at the top of the net. Now Christopher engaged in a little tip drill, and she'll lose it as Witzman comes up with it.
Those jousts at the net are so tough. You really have to just push your hands and try not to hit the net.
Flom. She's too far above the net to hit the net. Here she is again. Just look at this effortless by Flom. Good serve. And now a push. And with a couple Warriors on the floor, the Dragons couldn't convert. Neither could Reisner. And then into the net, 20-13. If the Dragons are going to go on that run that you were talking about, they probably want to think about it pretty soon.
Now with Flom out of the front row, this might be their opportunity.
Flom serving. Long. So not only do they have Flom off the front, she gives the Dragons a point. Third service error as Flom will sit. This is Brooke Walthall. A smash by Madison Reisner. The triple threat award just hop, skipped, and jumped up to the front. Tried to go cross court, found some Dragon fingertips. It's 21-14. Now Bree Maloney will serve. And now Christopher, too strong on the far side. This Winona State squad just looks like they've got a whole busload full of athletes.
They do. It just looks like they're a little bit more prepared than the Dragons.
Maloney. A whistle and a double hit. Whistled against the Dragons, and Winona State is 2 points away from set number one. Petterbach.
Petterbach tooling off that block. It's just where you use that block to wipe it off, and maybe you can toss the ball out of bounds as long as you can get them to touch.
23-15.
Bradwich serving again. See if she can use that powerful serve to give the Dragons a little bit of a run here.
She finds Christopher. And now Christopher. Another kill. If it's not Flom, it's Paige Christopher, and now she'll serve for set number one. Christopher, another just a sophomore, Galena, Illinois. A volleyball and track and field star at River Ridge High School. Big jump and powerful serve to Brooke Walthall. And now the Dragons will stay alive. They got a lot of work to do here to try to salvage the first set. Petterbach with a knuckleball over the net. On the near side, it's Kate Mosberg, and that does it for set number one. Winona State beats the Dragons and takes set number one, 25-16. You're watching live coverage of MSU Moorhead Dragons Volleyball, presented by Dragons Live on WDAY Extra.
It's a new stay at the Courtyard by Marriott, located just minutes from downtown Fargo, local colleges, shopping centers, and several restaurants. The Courtyard features a 24-hour fitness center, 24-hour on-site Starbucks, and our bistro restaurant and lounge open for breakfast and dinner daily. Relax in one of our 2 indoor swimming pools and hot tub. The comfort your family needs close to all the action at the Courtyard by Marriott. Visit our website or call 218-284-1000. That's 218-284-1000.
Your man cave is a lie. It's not a masculine refuge, it's a basement in your wife's house. Caves don't have frilly craft store signs. Yell about it. In your man cave, no one can hear you scream. Wake up! Head upstairs and get to B-dubs, where the kegerators are just called taps. The wall color is TVs, and the wings taste like freedom. Also, your friends actually like coming here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
Affinity Plus definitely seems like a credit union that cares about people. I've always had a good time whenever I go into my branch. I feel like I laugh every time. Like if they came into a bar, right, then they would be like the friend that you want to introduce to everybody. I talk about this credit union all the time because I think it's just like a gift to the world, because with my experience in the past, this has been just indescribable.
All right, Winona State wins set number 1, 25-16. Let's take a look at some highlights. And let's start with the Dragons. Here's Sarah Petterbach. Oh, elevation and over on the right. And she's going to say, that's my point. And then Tia Doppler. Boy, she had some touch, and then she also had some power in that first set. But maybe the story, Becky, was this Flom, Megan Flom, just a junior out of Kenya, Minnesota. And if it's not her, it's Paige Christopher. Just a powerful performance by a very good Winona State squad in set number 1 as we take a look at your first set stats.
Well, Flom for Winona is leading their team with 6 kills. She is really their biggest weapon right now. For the Dragons, Tia Doppler with 4 kills, leading. And we'll see if they keep continuing to use her. Maybe Petterbach and Carlson get in there, Jenkins. We'll see.
The Dragons lost set number 1 last night to Upper Iowa. What did they do after set 1 to win set number 2?
I think in set number 2, they just came out with a little bit of spark under their feet and were ready to play.
Casey Volkman. Run down by Walthall. She's already got her steps in so far today. Myers with some help from the net.
Nice line shot by Petterbach there.
Sarah Petterbach gets the Dragons their first lead here this afternoon. The last ranked opponent, we mentioned Winona State came in ranked 20th in the nation. The last ranked opponent that the Dragons beat was Minnesota Duluth here 2 years ago. Minnesota Duluth was 19-2 as that ball is just long, and the Dragons get the first 2 points here of the second set.
This is really what the Dragons needed.
Nope, they're going to say that ball was tipped. It's 1-1. Pagel, Flom, too strong for Walthall, and Winona State takes the lead. Winona State, I mentioned the Dragons won their first 5 of 8. Winona State was a perfect 8 for 8. They won 4 in Springfield, Illinois, September 6th and 7th, and then they won their next 4 as well in Missouri, as there's a swing and a miss by Kaylin Jenkins.
Just a little bit of miscommunication on where that set should be in the middle. Maybe even a little bit too high for Jenkins.
Like the Dragons, this Winona State squad lost their first 2 NSIC matches this season. The off speed from the southpaw. 4-1.
Winona is using that dead zone very well tonight.
So explain how that dead zone forms.
So when everybody gets back into their defense, you kind of leave a small circle, which I would be referring to as the dead zone in the middle of the court. Hard to communicate. Everybody's kind of going. Is it you? Is it me?
There's some miscommunication there, and it's already 5-1.
A side out could not come sooner for the Dragons right now.
Yeah, it was 1-0. We thought it was going to be 2-0, but instead they said the ball was tipped, and instead of 2-0 Dragons, Winona State's won 5 in a row. Another dig as Winona State seems to have found most of the balls coming after them. Where do the Dragons go? Winona State goes to the southpaw Mosberg again. Kate Mosberg, 5'9" junior, Kilkenny, Minnesota. She's been battling injuries. She's battling the Dragons today, and with her help has Winona State out to a 6-1 lead.
Libby here with another lesson.
Okay, gotta make a list. Pay cable bill, research car insurance rates, get groceries. And my student loan payment is due next week.
You look stressed. If you're worried about money, try riding Matt's bus.
There is a bus stop pretty close to my job. I could give it a try.
Awesome. More conditioner?
Thanks a lot.
He learned his lesson. Join us and take the challenge to ride green.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
In Moorhead, talk to State Farm agent Dave Eggers.
(6-1), Winona State leads set number 2. Steve DeStacio, Becky Berth. Here with you from Alex Nemzik Hall in Moorhead. Winona State won set number 1, 25-16. The Dragons won the first point of this set, and now Becca Pagel, after getting the side out, is having some fun on the right side of the floor. Here comes Winona State transitioning. They go to Flom. She's rejected at the net. Maybe that's what the Dragons need as Kaylin Jenkins stood tall.
Jenkins can get her more hands on some of those balls. Maybe that's what the Dragons will need.
They need somebody to stand up to Flom, and they had it right there. And now they get an ace from Pagel. I'm sorry, from Petterbach. 3-time All-Conference and Team MVP in high school. 2 in a row for the Dragons. They trail by 3. She'll go with some off-speed stuff. Instead of Flom, there's that dead zone you were talking about.
Right there, perfect example. Who goes? Someone's got to step up, take charge, take that ball.
So you explained wonderfully why or what it is. How does it happen? Why?
It's just kind of an open space. When you get back into your defense, your back row wants to stay back on any hard balls, and you either have to take, as the weak side defense, the middle or the angle, and the Dragons have been taking away the angle.
Becky Berth dropping some knowledge here. Here comes Mossberg with the off speed.
Nice
She
float,
just
knuckleball.
disguised that so well.
That float serve just kind of fools you. You think it's going to come right to you and just drops just like a knuckleball.
There it is again. Little sinker. And there's some Flom at the net defensively, a two-way player.
I like the matchup of her and Jenkins. It's just Flom won that one.
Flom's won most of the matchups she's had so far this afternoon. Mosberg to serve again. That little knuckler.
That's a tough serve to defend because if you move up, she might be able to toss it over your head on that back line.
Here she comes again.
A little
More
bit
of
stronger.
a driving serve. And now some touch at the net. One of the 4 points won here by the Dragons as Caitlin Jenkins will serve. We'll watch the replay with you. Presented by Midco. 11-4, Winona State.
Great court vision by Jenkins to see that small tip over to her left.
Going cross court was Myers. Jenkins from the back. She'll retreat. Here comes Myers again. That ball almost played pinball with the rafters. As here comes Paige Christopher. Back in for Winona State. She'll replace Volkman. 12-4. Winona State on top. That ball's off the rafters, but it's still in play. Flom defended at the net once again. Christopher defended, and then it goes out of bounds. So the Dragons are starting to measure Flom and her tendencies, as it looks like she likes to go to the right.
Yes.
Or straight down. Getting up slowly was Pagel, the Sumner, Iowa native. We'll shovel this one up, and here comes Christopher. Unstoppable, it's Paige Christopher. Maybe the biggest blast of the afternoon.
That was a rocket straight down.
Did Christopher go into the net? No, it was the Dragons. It might have been Selensky, and this set is getting away from the Dragons. They trail 14-5. Getting in front of that Paige Christopher rocket would be like trying to tackle Denver Colgrove straight on. This ball goes through the rafters.
Good defense on that setter dump there.
Here comes Christopher again. That time she took some mustard off, and I think it messed up where the Dragons were trying to go defensively.
Timing is everything with hits, and if you can make it look like you're going to slam it down and take something off, the illusion just like a changeup.
The problem is there's a lot of us that would get in front of a Paige Christopher changeup. It's the ones that want to get in front of the Paige Christopher fastball. 15-6. Winona State. Carlson, too deep. The Dragons just haven't found that rhythm that we saw last night.
No, they haven't, and I'm quite surprised because from what I've seen this season, they normally go on, get better and better throughout their matches, and I'm just not seeing that today.
Off Christopher's hands, apparently it never hit the floor. And then Mosberg. Maloney, the Roseville, Minnesota native, to serve. Defended at the net. Walthall comes up with it. Christopher. I think that ball never made it over the net.
I don't think it did either.
So it's 17-7 as here comes Hudson, Wisconsin native Jenkins back into the game. Jenkins tied for 5th in blocks with Sarah Johnson, whom she saw last night of Upper Iowa. Madison Reisner of Winona State is 3rd. Here's Christopher again, blocked at the net. Mosberg. Finished off by Madison Reisner.
Dragons going with a bit of a different plan here. They have Leah Zaker in the game now playing middle.
Zacher, the middle hitter from Isanti, Minnesota. Christopher, maybe trying for a little too much there. 18-8. Set number 2, Winona State won set 1 25-16. The 3 top teams in the league, Minnesota, Duluth, Northern State, Concordia, St. Paul, all victorious earlier this afternoon. That ball was just too far as Corey Myers tried to find the back line. Bretwish served it. Reisner, slam. Now she'll get some love on the bench as she'll come out, and the libero Pago will serve. Pago, that little knuckleball. Do they go back to Flom? No. Mosberg has been just fine. The Dragons somehow get the ball over the net. There's Flom. At some point, Winona State's going to look for Flom.
Yes, they are. She definitely is their biggest weapon. I'm surprised the Dragons haven't tried a triple block on her.
It's something I didn't see 2 weeks ago, nor last night, watching the match online. Or 2 weeks ago in their match that they won against Minnesota Crookston. Flom first in the NSIC in hitting percentage and 8th in kills, and Flom and the rest of her Warriors on fire, up by a dozen here in set number 2.
Update or download to the all-new MSUM Dragons app on iTunes and Google Play. The new app features customized following of only your favorite Dragons teams, incredible in-app live stats and media coverage, and our Fired Up Rewards program all in one easy-to-use app. Update your Dragons app, search MSUM in your app store, or visit msumdragons.com/app to download the new MSUM Dragons app today.
The Dragon Swim School is second to none in the FM area. Visit msumdragons.com/swim for more information. Learning to navigate the water is easy with the help of the Dragon Swim School. Becky, you and I just looked at the scores with Duluth, Northern, Concordia all winning this afternoon. The national rankings came out last weekend. 7 NSIC teams in the top 20, including Upper Iowa, who was here last night, including Winona State, who's here today, but only Northern State and Minnesota Duluth, who are now both at 10-1, undefeated since last weekend. So maybe other conferences looking at this as now the Northern Sun is starting to beat itself, which is eventually going to happen.
The Northern Sun definitely is a powerhouse in volleyball.
I would argue it's the best in the nation, especially when you've got a Concordia St. Paul squad that's won, 9 national championships in the last 11 years. They won again today. They may not be the second best team in the NSIC. As Duluth and Northern State looking really good. Well, I'm looking at the NSIC, at the football scores. Look at that, Southwest Minnesota State at the bottom of the standings for the majority of the season, and they went in and they won this afternoon over St. Cloud State. Mossberg, yes. Here's Mossberg to serve. Boy, she almost looks like she's going backwards, but that's her just teeing up and taking a whack. Myers.
Nice angle shot by Tia Dobler.
Her 4th kill this afternoon, her first kill here in the second set. 22-11, not much has gone well for the Dragons. Here is Layla Zaker, the Isanti, Minnesota native, and she will serve it up. Myers, just too strong. Have you been to all the home matches?
I believe I have.
Who's the strongest you've seen? Where does Winona State rank so far in what you've seen?
I would say Upper Iowa and Winona, definitely pretty even, probably the best that I've seen here in the field house.
I know Northern State's coming here. Here's Christopher with a stop. Northern State's coming here on Halloween night. 24-11. Myers to serve with a lot of points in her hip pocket to spare. Christopher at the net again with a little bit of help from McKenna Yeager and Winona State. Going away wins set number 2. They lead 2-0. We'll take a break and we'll come back. You're watching live coverage of MSU Moorhead Dragons Volleyball presented by Dragons Live on WDAY Extra.
It's a new stay at the Courtyard by Marriott, located just minutes from downtown Fargo, local colleges, shopping centers, and several restaurants. The Courtyard features a 24-hour fitness center, 24-hour on-site Starbucks, and our bistro restaurant and lounge open for breakfast and dinner daily. Relax in one of our 2 indoor swimming pools and hot tub. The comfort your family needs close to all the action at the Courtyard by Marriott. Visit our website or call 218-284-1000. That's 218-284-1000.
Jacks just rushed forward. They're going to get home.
Going for Wanzik in the end zone. What a catch!
To the air on 3rd and goal. Tight end Brett Sampson.
And they're going to look for Enoch. Enoch, touchdown! 2-point conversion is good, and Brandon Valley takes the 1-point lead to win the game.
And Pierre Strong is going to carry it all the way in for a Jackrabbit touchdown.
Exceeding expectations. Getting better every day. It doesn't happen by chance. Preparation pays off. So the only question to ask yourself is, am I better today than I was yesterday? Exceed yesterday. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Prosperity is today's investment in tomorrow's promise. The promise of a better way of life. With every act of kindness, every act of creation, and with every act of love, we strengthen our community. And when we stand together as a community, we accomplish the impossible. We can choose to pass through life, or we can choose to pass on a better way of life.
Two sets to none. The Dragons trail Winona State. Let's take a look around at some action that took place today. Minnesota State Mankato, they're happy on their long bus ride home. They beat Minot State 3-0. Concordia St. Paul won in Bismarck 3-0. Minnesota Duluth down in Sioux Falls trying to take care of Augustana. Southwest Minnesota State, they've been up and down here in the month of October. They drop a set to Minnesota Crookston as they're in danger of falling out of any kind of running, maybe even a playoff berth in the NSIC after being nationally ranked for the majority of this season. So Southwest Minnesota State leading Minnesota Crookston 2-1. Northern State at home, no problem with Upper Iowa. Boy, they steamrolled at home this weekend over Winona State and Upper Iowa. Wayne State lost last night to Minnesota Duluth in 5. And Sioux Falls took the first set over Bemidji State down in Sioux Falls. And this look at the out-of-town scoreboard is presented by the Shuck Bus Service. Winona State won the first 2 sets over the Dragons. We'll take a break and we'll come back with more. After this, you're watching live coverage of MSU Moorhead Dragons Volleyball presented by Dragons Live on WDAY Extra.
Dragon Swim School is proud to offer year-round swimming and diving lessons with the lowest student-to-instructor ratio around. Lessons are available for all levels, including parent-child sessions and preschool. Help your child learn to love the water in a safe and caring environment with us at Dragon Swim School. Visit msumdragons.com/swim for more information. That's MSUMdragons.com/swim.
Before I became a real boy, life was easy. I didn't have to do anything. I just sat there doing sandwich stuff. But man, being alive is so hard. So if you don't want to get up out of bed to get a sandwich, you shouldn't have to. The sheer effort it takes just for basic life functions like breathing has earned you the right to have someone bring that sandwich to you. Your struggle is not lost on us. Have a sandwich, you hero.
All right, Becky, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. Boy, it never gets easy. It does it at Concordia St. Paul this coming Friday night down in St. Paul, and then next Saturday in Mankato. Halloween night. Becky, are you going to trick or treat, or are you going to watch the Northern State Wolves here in town?
I will be at the volleyball match.
My recommendation is come watch Dragons volleyball. There's Madison Reisner. Just leave a bag of Snickers on the front for the kids and they'll figure it out. Dragons up against it now, losing the first two sets 2-0. The Dragon coaching staff, Bob Jones, what do you think the coaching staff said to the Dragons in the locker room down 2-0?
Well, they've made some changes. Sarah Petterbach now has that libero jersey on. See if their defensive changes will help them out.
Brooke Walthall seemed to dig everything out that was heading her way. So it's nothing that Brooke Walthall did, correct? What does Petterbach bring with the libero jersey on?
I think just her skills in the back row that she showcased that second game. They just feel like they need that more.
Could this be a matter of experience as well?
I would say yes. Petterbach being a little bit older gives her that little bit of mental advantage.
So the Dragons and Winona State tied 2-2. Here's Flom. Now Mossberg to serve. Winona State takes the lead here in the third set. A little tip, Pagel and Flom. I do see Petterbach communicating. That ball's long. Was it tipped? I'm not convinced the officials saw it, but I see Petterbach communicating more with the lips, maybe more than Brooke Walthall would as a freshman.
Yeah, I would say that's that mental advantage, and that's why Petterbach now has that libero jersey on.
A drive to the back. There's Petterbach digging. Off balance for the Dragons was Carlson, and then Flom. I just wonder if Flom, and here comes Christopher, number 14. She's also been pretty impressive. I just wonder if they have enough ammunition to compete with the Duluths in the Northern States and the Concordia St. Paul's as they get a fortunate bounce here and a service ace. I don't know this league enough to make a fair statement for Winona State, but they look pretty good with a great front row.
Yes, they do, especially in this rotation with the two of them in the front row. That's deadly.
There's Flom. It's been Flom, Mossberg, and Christopher. Sounds like a law firm. 6-3 Winona State here in set number 3.
It could be a law firm with the way they're defending this net.
Into the net goes Carlson. Oh, a little too much touch. Larson was trying to be cheeky, and now the Dragons get the ball back. Boy, Winona State just keeps daring the Dragons with these serves into the net or Flom serving long. But now what can the Dragons do? Can they get a little run? There's Flom. Just deadly.
Her court vision is amazing. Just seeing when she needs to go long, when she needs to tip, left or right. This is why the Dragons are having a tough time blocking her.
Now she'll serve.
Amber Klug new into the game, that kill, right down the line on her strong side, being left-handed as a right side hitter.
Klug, just a redshirt freshman at 5'10" from Maple Lake, Minnesota. Her sister Hannah played softball for MSU Moorhead. Sitting with a softball player, Becky Burr, Steve Estacio with you here from the box in Alex Nemzik Fieldhouse. 9-5 Winona State leads set number 3. They won the first 2 sets rather easily, 25-16 and 25-11. This is Bree Maloney off the tape. At the net, just a little too strong. Reisner. We mentioned statistically what she's been doing in the NSIC, proving it there as Doppler comes back in for the Dragons. Christopher probably, with her opportunity on the left side of the net, probably wanted a little more speed to that hit, and that's why the Dragons found it and ultimately won the point. Do they go to Christopher again? They do.
Nice dig out of the net. Nice touch by that block.
Petterbach, maybe the defensive play of the match. Here comes Christopher again. Got a taste of her own medicine as she got blocked on the right-hand side.
Doppler and Jenkins that time connected, closed that block very well, pushed it right back.
Maybe the most spirited defensive effort of the match for the Dragons. They trail it by a point here in the third set.
This is what the Dragons needed. They're not really finding a groove here.
Mossberg couldn't put it home. Smashing from the back is Madison Larson out of Independence, Iowa, 5-time state track qualifier in the great state of Iowa. Has some hops as well. Here's Christopher trying to extend this lead, and that ball's not even going to come close to the net.
Service errors from the Warriors are really helping out the Dragons this match.
Right, and like I mentioned before, Becky, they're daring the Dragons, saying, hey, you know what, I'm giving you a sniff of this, now come and get it, but the Dragons haven't taken advantage of those opportunities. See if they can here. Larson couldn't put it away. Winona State resets. Look out below. Reisner. Pega will serve for Winona State. Pega will watch that go out. And Winona State's crept out to a 3-point lead.
Nice cross court by Doppler. It's what they needed, side out.
T. Doppler, just a freshman out of Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. Terrific career as a Laker at Detroit Lakes. Here's Flom. But boy, Doppler. Yeah, I mean, Doppler's probably been the most effective offensive player for the Dragons today.
She has. She leads right now with 5 kills.
Here's Mossberg serving. Larson dumped one at the net.
There's Doppler again, this time with a block.
So for her great effort, she might find a seat on the bench. They'll all go to the bench during the timeout. Warriors up by 2 here in set number 3.
It's a new stay at the Courtyard by Marriott, located just minutes from downtown Fargo, local colleges, shopping centers, and several restaurants. The Courtyard features a 24-hour fitness center, 24-hour on-site Starbucks, and our bistro restaurant and lounge open for breakfast and dinner daily. Relax in one of our 2 indoor swimming pools and hot tub. The comfort your family needs close to all the action at the Courtyard by Marriott. Visit our website or call 218-284-1000. That's 218-284-1000.
Check out the newest MSU Moorhead podcast at msumdragons.com/podcast or search MSUM Dragons iTunes and Spotify and subscribe to the MSUM Dragons podcast today. The latest one has our athletic director, Doug Peters, our deputy athletic director, Chad Markison, and one of the subjects is probably not something we should be talking about right now in the middle of October, and that's what happened last weekend, bad weather. I was in St. Paul last weekend watching the Dragon football team lose in the snow. I imagined it wasn't all hunky-dory up here in Fargo-Moorhead last Saturday.
No, I believe it snowed October 11th.
Right, the 11th. How much snow did Moorhead get? 6 inches? 4, and it's all gone. I mowed my lawn, but
Crazy weather patterns we've had this fall already.
Dragons serving, trailing 2-0 here at home to nationally ranked Winona State. That's Megan Flom, one of the few she couldn't put away, and that hit both lines.
Selensky with that setter dump to the back corner. Nobody there. Great decision.
Flom. Too strong for Petterbach. Since Petterbach has put the libero jersey on, the Dragons have closed the gap on the scoreboard for Winona State. What have you seen strategically? I know Doppler's gotten some points. Petterbach defensively, there she is again.
I think it was just a change of pace, change of scenery for the Dragons that they needed. Maybe it was getting a little stale in that old lineup, and just shaking things up sometimes just really helps you out.
Trying to provide a spark in a different fashion. So here's Amanda Carlson to serve, trying to lock this thing up or tie this thing up, and watching the ball sizzle by her right ear is Madison Larson. She made the correct decision, and now the Dragons give a free point to Winona State. Warriors up 15-13 as Megan Flom will serve. Christopher at the net defending. Boy, Christopher and McKenna Yeager is also in, a 6'2" freshman out of Reedland, Iowa. The smart bunch too. She was on the honor roll all 4 years in high school, and Flom, who's been doing a lot of the damage offensively on the all-academic team. This is Christopher, yes!
Also great court sense.
Petterbach dug it out. And coming up with a good for the Dragons is Witzman, the freshman from Isanti, Minnesota. 17-14, Winona State on top. Here's Petterbach to serve. Right down the middle goes McKenna Yeager. What is she, the fourth option? These guys are stacked.
I would say they have endless options on this Warriors team. Seems like everybody can put that ball down.
Maloney. Mosberg getting dirty. And now they're going to say a carry on Christopher as the thunder came from Witzman.
Witzman normally on the right side, getting an opportunity on outside. Good slam.
Bretwich and Doppler back in for the Dragons. A little
Nice
knuckleball. Finds Pagel.
And a good dig.
Mossberg, yes, she saw that opening in the Dragons defense, and it seems like number 11 for Winona State pictured there on your left can't seem to do anything wrong this afternoon. 19-15, Winona State. Christopher to serve. Just watching the athleticism on that serve is amazing to watch.
That's a jump topspin serve. Those are deadly. It's almost like a spike as a serve.
With a lot of thunder as we stay in Moorhead.
Your man cave is a lie. It's not a masculine refuge, it's a basement in your wife's house. Caves don't have frilly craft store signs. Yell about it. In your man cave, no one can hear you scream. Wake up! Head upstairs and get to B-dubs, where the kegerators are just called taps, the wall color is TVs, and the wings taste like freedom. Also, your friends actually like coming here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
Galena, Illinois native Paige Christopher to serve with her squad up by a handful. That ball wound up in the fourth row, 21-15.
I talked about the Dragon serves today. This serve is deadly by Christopher.
At this level, I haven't seen anything like this. Mossberg. Yes. Like I said, what has she done wrong today? She'll try an overhead left hand hook shot slam, and somehow it finds two pieces of tape. Petterbach digs that out. Doppler, yes.
Doppler with the tool off the block. Gets the side out for the Dragons. Stops that Christopher serve.
That was just long, and now Winona State is 2 points away. Winona State, after today, heads home, and they will host Mary and Minot next weekend. 23-16, this is Pagel, with Winona State a couple points away from a straight set win. Some miscommunication on the Dragons' front line, and now Winona State has a bunch of match points. Pagel, Mossberg. Do they go to Flom? Yes, to finish it in style. Winona State wins it over the Dragons, 3-0. Becky and I will come back and we'll wrap it up. You're watching live coverage of MSU Moorhead Dragons Volleyball, presented by Dragons Live on WDAY's Extra.
Affinity Plus definitely seems like a credit union that cares about people. I've always had a good time whenever I go into my branch. I feel like I laugh every time. Like if they came into a bar, right, then they would be like the friend that you want to introduce to everybody. I talk about this credit union all the time because I think it's just like a gift to the world, because with my experience in the past, this has been just indescribable.
Libby here with another lesson.
Okay, gotta make a list. pay cable bill, research car insurance rates, get groceries. And my student loan payment is due next week.
You look stressed. If you're worried about money, try riding Mass Bus.
There is a bus stop pretty close to my job. I could give it a try.
Awesome. More conditioner?
Thanks a lot.
He learned his lesson. Join us and take the challenge to ride green.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
In Moorhead, talk to State Farm agent Dave Eggers.
All right, and emptying Alex Nemzik Fieldhouse, Steve DeStacio, Becky Berth with you as Winona State dusts off the Dragons 3-0. Let's take a look at some third set highlights. As for the Dragons, that was Amber Klug who got her opportunities in the game, and then at the net, Tia Doppler had a really nice match here this afternoon, but in the end, it was Winona State. There's Megan Flom. I'm sure we're going to hear some more from her. Here's a unique angle of Bridget Witzman getting a kill for the Dragons, but then there's Kate Mossberg finding a couple of pieces of tape in the end, and then Winona State with Mossberg again. Could not find an open area there, but then there's Flom finishing this thing off. Winona State wins 3-0. The stats clearly in favor of Winona State.
Winona State finishes out the match with 47 kills compared to the Dragons at 20. That really was the name of the game today. Flom for the Warriors, just leading them, throwing everything down.
Yeah, all these numbers point towards Winona State, a 44% hitting percentage to the Dragons, under 10%. Let's pick a player of the match, and I think this is a pretty easy one.
Megan Flom, definitely.
Megan Flom this afternoon. There she is.
17 kills.
Or I'm sorry, our play of the game is right there. Paige Christopher and McKenna Yeager coming up, and that defensive play was the final point of set number 2. Our play of the game presented by Herbert and Gerbert's. Truly bold. Get flavor any way you want it at Herbert and Gerbert's Sandwich Shop. Go to herbertandgerberts.com to order online for pickup and delivery. And remember to live life flavorfully. Now, go ahead and give us the newsmaker of the game.
Like I said earlier, Megan Flom with 17 kills, leading Winona. She really couldn't not have a ball that didn't hit the ground.
Megan Flom, our newsmaker of the game, presented by the Forum of Fargo Moorhead. Call 241-5445 today to get the Forum of Fargo Moorhead delivered tomorrow. Again, the Dragons are going to hit the road next weekend. Next Friday, they'll be at Concordia St. Paul in the Gangelhoff Center. At 6 o'clock next Saturday, they will be at Taylor Center in Mankato to take on Minnesota State Mankato. Halloween night, the Dragons will be here against Northern State. That'll be a 6 o'clock tip-off. And then later on in the season, Becky and I will be reunited one more time to do a Dragons volleyball match against Southwest Minnesota State. That'll take place after the Dragons take on Bemidji State. That's 3 weeks from today, as the Dragon football team will take on Bemidji State at 1 o'clock. The Dragon volleyball team will take on Southwest Minnesota State at 4 o'clock. Here on WDAY Extra. Becky Berth, Steve DeStacio. One more time, the Dragons, probably a little more pep last night, but this Winona State squad, how good are they?
They were a tough team. I don't think anybody in their front row you couldn't trust to go to them and slam the ball down.
All right, for the Dragons, where do they go from here? They've got 2 tough ones on the road next weekend.
I'd say they have to use this week as a refresher. Maybe come in next week with that shaken up lineup, Petterbach as the libero, see what happens.
All right, then that's going to do it for our presentation of Dragons volleyball. Here this afternoon, we want to thank you for your viewership of our doubleheader here, football and volleyball. I'll do an audio-only webcast a week from today down in Marshall, Minnesota against Southwest Minnesota State. We'll turn it on around 12:55, and the football team will play at 1 o'clock. For Becky, Alex Nelson, John Webking, this entire crew who's standing around us, Steve DeStacio saying so long from Alex Nemzik Hall. Here in Moorhead, the football team loses earlier today. The volleyball team falls 3-0. Have a great rest of your weekend.